Welcome to another live video, and today we are going to be talking about the top 3 trending React.js projects which are going to be guaranteed to land you a job as a developer. Now guys, this is going to be super value packed and I can't wait for everything that we're going to be talking about today. So without further ado, let's go in and jump in and see what you're going to be learning about today. So the things that I'm going to be showing you guys. So one of the projects is going to be the infamous Amazon app. So some of you guys would have seen this, and if you were here, drop a comment in the comments section now to let me know if you've built this. So a lot of you guys have built it. We're going to be building a Amazon. We are going to be showing you an Amazon Live app as well as a Netflix app. So this is an app that we are going to have inside of our portfolio. And you can see, guys, it's super responsive. Everything works super clean. And guys, the reason why you want this on your portfolio is it's going to make it stand out more than any other developer on the market. Like if you've got beautiful apps like this inside of your portfolio, guys, I'm telling you, it's going to be a guaranteed nail when it comes to getting a job. So let's go ahead and look over back at the Amazon app. This one, guys, this has full functionality. You can add to your basket. You can go ahead, check your basket, and you can see in here you've got your shopping basket, you've got your subtotal, you can even sign in. So we have authentication working. And if that's not enough for you guys, we also went ahead and built a messenger app. So some of you guys played around with this, and if I log in and say, yo, what's up guys? So let's go ahead and say, yo, what's up guys? You can see it's a dynamic app and it works. And guys, if you think that's cool, then let me know in the comments by dropping some fire and get super excited for today and what we're about to talk about. And guys, also, little bonus for today. If you guys want personalized video feedback on the projects that you're creating, so whether it be the projects that you're building alongside us when we're doing these live calls, or even if it's a project that you're building on the side on your own terms. If it's a React project and you want some personalized video feedback from myself or from Kazi, then be sure to click the link in the bio, and I'm going to show you what that will take you to. So click the link in the bio and it's going to open up a form. Okay, so go ahead right now and check out this check out the form that's linked in the bio, and what you should see is this form. So I'm going to go ahead and run through it for you guys, and what this will basically do is you can go ahead and submit yourselves your coding projects or portfolios. So here you just want to put in your full name, your email address, the title of the project. So if you guys built Netflix clone, so let's go ahead and fill this out. So I'll say Sonny Sanga. Go ahead and put in your email address. So let's just say Sonny gmail.com, and then title of the project. Let's go ahead and do Netflix clone. You want to upload some screenshots of your projects, a live demo link, guys. So when we say live demo link, we're talking about a live working demo link. So in a lot of the live sessions, we actually talk about how you can deploy this using things like Firebase. And even if you deployed an Heroku app, that is completely fine. But we just want to have a live deployed app that we can actually play with. So I want you guys to go ahead and include that link over here. And then if you guys have, like, this isn't a mandatory step, but if you have included submitted your code to GitHub, then push it inside of a GitHub repo and drop us a link here. Make sure it's accessible as well, guys, because some people tend to push it, but it's a private link, so we can't actually see it. And if you guys go ahead and click this drop down right here. So if you guys came from any of those live sessions that we previously did, let me know, because I love to see you guys here again. And honestly, it's amazing just seeing everyone flood in right now. So let me know. And also, when you go ahead and check the click this drop down, you want to go ahead and click the appropriate video that you came from. So if it was a Netflix clone that brought you here, then go ahead and click Netflix clone, Instagram clone, to-do clone. If it was a different project, you can go ahead and click the other. So it's fine. Just make sure you fill this out correctly. And guys, let us know what you learned. If you learned something when you built Netflix, let us know. If you learned something when you built the Amazon app, let us know in this section right here. And also, if you want us to cover any topic, guys, and I mean any topic, whether it's coding related, whether it's React, Firebase, Redux, or anything that you guys want to learn, be sure to enter it inside of here. And if you have any comments or feedback, then let us know here, and that will help us guys help you out. But once you click submit, guys, this is where the fun happens. So within 24 hours, right? So 24 to 48 hours, you're going to have me or Kazi come out and reach out to you guys it'll be somebody from the team. They're going to reach out from you guys, and it could literally be a personalized, it's going to be a personalized video feedback message to you guys, where we go through your code. We tell you guys the amazing sort of work that you guys have done. We go through it, and we have done this so many times, guys. So we really enjoy doing this. We're going to go through your code. We're going to find, and if it's really, really good, guys, we're going to personally reach out to you. But every single one of you are going to get personalized video feedback if you just go ahead and fill out this form. So once again, guys, link in the description, and that will take you to this form right here. And you just want to go ahead and fill it out. And guys, notice how we've added this little disclaimer over here. So oh yeah, here. So we get so many submissions, guys. So over here, sorry, we get so many submissions, guys. We just need you guys to know, take it really seriously and actually attach some screenshots to this and let us know. Turn off your audio sounds. We can. Oh, okay, give me 1 second, guys. There we go. So yeah, guys, please, 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 we get so many submissions with these kinds of forms. So only submit everything if you're really serious, and make sure you guys put some heart into it. Let us know properly. Take your time when you do this. Upload screenshots of your projects. Be proud of this, guys. This is what's going to be your sort of work that you're going to have on your portfolio. Okay, so this is something that you should take some time into, and you should actually really be proud and put some time and effort into this. Okay, so yeah, guys, if you guys are excited, let me know right now in the comments. So let's go ahead and let's go and see who's inside today's session. So you can say right now we've got somebody saying, wow, this is a bomb. You guys have really helped build my confidence. Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I can't actually see who that's from, but love to see comments like that. Let's go ahead and see. So somebody said, boy, Twitter is hacking. What the heck is this live? Okay, yep, built the Amazon. Nice. So I love to see that, guys. If you have built the Amazon app that we spoke about, so this one right here, then make sure that you let us know, guys. Make sure you let us know in the comments. And like we said, so me and Kazi in previous sessions, guys, we always go ahead and say that if you do build these things, guys, literally shoot a video. So literally grab your phone. So just go ahead and grab your phone, shoot a video of yourselves, and literally go ahead and tag me over. Oh, it's over on this side. So go ahead and tag me and Clever Kazi. And guys, we get to see your stories. So we actually seen a few of you guys who have built this. And we love that, because literally it's a case of we get to start a conversation with you guys. And it just means that it's more than just a number that we see. Okay. See your comments bleeping in. Okay. So wait, have we got the comments going right now? Okay. Nice. Let me go ahead and 1 second. Let me just make a quick change, guys. 1 second. So, right. So if you guys just want to drop any questions that you have before we get started on today's session, then we can get started and go from there. Nice. Okay. So let's go. Let's have a look at your questions, guys. See who's in the chat. So we have, hi, I'm from London. Oh, nice. Someone said, Sonny, do you read those comments? I do read the comments, guys. So if you have any interesting comments and you want to sort of ask any questions, be sure to fire them in the comment section, and I will hit you up if I see that. Somebody says, Arturo says, damn, you guys are awesome. Glad to see you there. And also, guys, if anybody here right now is from the Profit with JavaScript course, so our course, Profit with JavaScript, let me know in the section. I love to see our own students here. And it's so amazing to see that, and we can pretty much go from there. So Meherban, how's it going? That's my beautiful girlfriend in the comment section, always supporting. Nice. Mr. Mehi, thank you very much. Sonny is awesome. Okay, so guys, I think, oh, and we actually have people from East Africa. Nice. I like to see that. I love to see that from everyone from around the world. Okay. Not good. Awesome. Nice comments. Okay, so guys, without further ado, let's just jump straight into some value today, and let's go ahead and run with this. I've got a bunch of things I want to go through today, and pretty much the first thing I want to say, guys, is that if you haven't already got a portfolio, what are you doing? You guys need, a portfolio is going to stand you out from the rest of the other developers. So most people have a CV or a resume, and we've all seen it, guys. We've all seen. Let me get a simple sort of resume that we see that comes up. So we've all seen the typical kind of resume that everyone's talking about, something like this, right? You're gonna have someone that comes up and they're gonna drop this on the table. And guys, I'm telling you, like, I've been in the recruitment side of this, where literally we would look through it and we'll be like, right, let's see who this person is. And guys, imagine how many of these gets pushed across the desk every single day when a company is hiring or recruiting. You pretty much they're gonna see this all the time. And all I can see at this point is just text. I mean, most of us like, we wouldn't even like take the time out to sort of read this too much, like. So, but instead, if you saw one badass portfolio built in React, deployed in Firebase, even has some Redux attached to it, then that's going to take my attention. So let's go ahead and actually do a quick Google search right now. And let's go ahead and let's go ahead and check React developer portfolios. And let's see if I can actually give you guys a live demo of some amazing portfolios that are out there right now. And also, I saw a question earlier, and a really good question actually, and that's why. Like, why should we have a portfolio, and why should we learn React? I see that question pop up quite a lot. And guys, the one thing I will say to you guys is, if you are on the fence of learning React, here is something which may change your mind. So this is the average base salary of a developer, guys, in the States. So $118,000. Just let that sink in for a second, guys. $118,000. If that impresses you guys, smash the like button, because literally in these live streams and in these sort of live sessions, we're going to take you to points where you can start learning and you can get on your journey to earning that salary, guys. And it's completely something which is not like mind-blowing, like out of, it's something which is not unfeasible, and it's definitely something which you can achieve if you just put the work in. So awesome, guys. So like we said, before we jump in, we are going to be talking about apps like Netflix, like Amazon, and like the Facebook Messenger that we built, okay? And why you need these in your portfolio. So without further ado, guys, let's jump straight in. So I'm going to go ahead and open up a whiteboard so that you guys can actually see a little bit clearer. And before, let's see if there's any interesting questions, guys. So we have Elijah says, okay, this is a good point. How many hours should a solid portfolio, let's go ahead and put this on the background. There we go. How many hours should a solid portfolio project take, and what is an optimal amount of these projects you should have at a junior level, so as a junior developer? Very good question. What I will say to that, Elijah, is that and also I saw you in yesterday's live stream, so amazing to see you here again. What I will say to that, guys, is honestly, there is no maximum cap. If you can put more hours in, put more hours in, okay? Like put the time in, because it's going to make the difference when it comes to, like, if there's 10 developers applying for a job and you really took that love and consideration and put like that time and effort into your portfolio, that's going to show when it comes to that having that interview. And even if your portfolio isn't that powerful, guys, the stories that you will have to share when you're debugging and doing all of that stuff, that's going to actually be something to talk about with the person that's interviewing you. And I guarantee that that's where you can relate quite a lot and get on. So what is an optimal amount of these projects to have at a junior level? Honestly, guys, if you have 3 amazing projects, just like the ones that we demoed right here, so literally like a messenger app, and guys, let's just quickly go through some of the functionalities on these apps. So here we have a real-time database integration. So literally we have smooth animation. So like, wow, this actually works, guys. And also, guys, if you don't want to take my word for this, go ahead and check the comment section right now. I've dropped the Netflix link. So I've dropped the links to these 2 apps, guys. The Netflix app so over this one, so you can go ahead and play it. If I go ahead and click the dark trailer right here, it goes ahead and plays the trailer, which is awesome. Right, so you'll play the trailer for that one. And over here, guys, you can go ahead and actually check these out right now. Add a couple of items to your basket. You can pretty much go ahead and you can mess around with this, guys. You can try and break it. If you go ahead and sign in, you can actually create an Amazon account. And if we leave the fields blank, you see it even has some validation and things like that. So this all works, and you can even sign in, and it actually signs you into the thing. So we're going to look a bit more into that. But to go back to Elijah's question, guys, 3 solid projects which demonstrate a variety of skills is going to be really, really, like, honestly, especially at a junior level, that in my opinion is going to be enough to guarantee you a position. At that point, 3 solid projects plus some really good soft skills, that is going to be enough to get you into your first job. And that is going to be more valuable, honestly. And guys, I say this with absolute, I don't stress, I can't stress this enough. Yeah, that, like, I came from a background of having a degree and having a master's. I can't stress enough, if somebody just, like, if I could rewind time and just invest in practical projects like these ones, so literally like these kind of apps, I literally would have done that and made such an amazing portfolio to demonstrate, as opposed to just saying, hey, I have a degree. Because literally most developers now would have a degree. But you know what the truth is? It really doesn't matter anymore about age. You're never too young, you're never too old to start coding. So yeah, like, honestly, a portfolio in that case, 3 solid apps like the ones I just demonstrated are going to be more than enough, guys. And we will go into depth as to why very shortly. So this quick run through of the questions. So let's go ahead and have a look. So we have Sonny, what else do you usually use as a backend system for React besides Firebase? Very good question. You can use Node.js. You can use any language really as a backend. You can use Python as a backend. You can use Java as a backend. But yeah, you can pretty much you can mix and match when it comes to React. React is more of a front end, so the backend can be powered by whatever you want it to be powered by. Let's go ahead and let's say, okay, but where can we find our first jobs? Like freelancing websites, or look for jobs on companies' websites? Very good question. Very good question. And actually, what I would recommend is, if anyone is interested in this question, we have 2 videos, guys, that answer this exact question. And we go into full depth on these videos. One is yesterday's live session with me and Naz on how to make, I think what was yesterday's live session? Go ahead and check it out in the YouTube channel. Yesterday's session, we go into a complete talk about all of this stuff. And also last Friday, me and Kazi did a live stream about ways to make money as a React developer. So we actually broke this down completely. I even shared my backstory as to how I became a developer. So if any of you guys are interested in that, definitely go ahead and go and give that a check, and go and see what that is about. And yeah, if you're asking this question, I guarantee you'll find that pretty useful. So be sure to check that out. UHack, nice. Okay, so guys, let's jump straight in, because let's go ahead and let's just give some more value here. So what I'm going to tell you guys is that the reason why you want a portfolio like this, and the reason why you want a portfolio that demonstrates things like this, let's go ahead and put this page up because that's a little bit nicer. The reason why you want this, guys, is because it does all of the talking for you, right? It tells a senior developer, or the person hiring you, it tells them that this is my skill set, and here is proof. Like, rather than me telling you, I could sit here and tell you that I can do this, I can do that, I can do this. But you know what? The minute you guys believed me was when I started to actually code, and I started to show you, and I started to actually present like all of these projects and things like that. Then you actually trusted that I could actually code in React, right? So it's the same with an employer, or a freelancing client, or somebody that you're about to teach. You have to earn their trust. And you earn their trust the minute they start seeing apps like this, and they're like, whoa, like, is that the real Netflix, or is that like the fake one, or like, is that your clone? And when you start showing like dynamic apps like this, like, and guys, this is all people who were in the last live stream, and they went ahead and just jumped onto this, and everything just popped through here. And just to show you guys how dynamic this really is, if I was to open this up in another tab, so let's go ahead and do that right now. Let's go ahead and do this right now. So you can say, and let's just say I was Kazi at this point, and it says, welcome Kazi. And I was like, yo, Sonny, look at this. Guys, you see that? It's a real-time messaging app right now. So like, if you can sit there with an employer and show them this will, like, guys, at this point, they're going to be like, what is going on? Like, they're going to be like, how did you build that? It's going to spark a conversation, right? And that's going to get them interested, and it's going to show them like that you have actually got the skills to build something like this and pull it off, right? Nice. We should have a lot of people coming in now. Okay, awesome. So yeah, guys, so what we want to talk about is pretty much like how these kind of projects can actually demonstrate your skill set and do all of the speaking for you. Like, guys, nobody wants to sit there and talk about like, or listing out. And guys, that's my main thing, okay? Like, so let's actually go ahead and pull up a whiteboard right now. So One thing I absolutely hated, right, is that when I would interview somebody applying for a job. Okay, so I was actually working at a startup company. I was interviewing people that were coming in for jobs, so junior developers. They would come in to the position, and then they would do the following, right? So I don't know if you guys can see this. Let me know in the comment section, and I will, because my screen completely goes white when I do this. So I used to see this, right? They would come in and they would list out a bunch of things, right? So they would just simply do the following. Let me go ahead and make this a little bit bigger, guys. So they would do this, and this is something that you don't want to do. So things you, oops, okay, let's go ahead and do this. We say things you do not want to do in an interview. Okay. And this is like in an interview, or like or in your interview, or a portfolio. So in an interview or portfolio, okay, things you do not want to do in a portfolio. And then, guys, it's just things that they're just like those things you stay away from them. Okay, don't do it. So the first one I'm gonna say is pretty much a case of do not list. So don't list out skills. Okay, we see everyone does it. I guarantee some of us right now have a portfolio somewhere where like we have a bunch of skills where it says, hey, I know how to use React, I know how to use Redux, I know how to use Flexbox, I know how to use this and that. Guys, don't do it, because honestly, like, everyone does it, and you need to be able to stand out from the crowd. And this is going to be something which, like, it's going to do a lot more damage than as opposed to what you think it's going to be doing. Another thing I would say is do not simply copy code. Okay. The reason why I say this, guys, this is very important. This one, don't just simply copy code. When you start copying code, guys, it becomes yes, okay, look, you might have a portfolio of like 10 different apps, but one, it's so easy, especially like a medium or senior developers, when they look at that, so easy to quickly distinguish, because all I would do at that point is I would just start throwing a sort of technical question. I would say, okay, like, how did you approach a database in that? And then pretty much you would start to notice the cracks very quickly. So you're better off having 3 apps, so just 3 apps that you know extremely well, rather than having a bunch of apps that you don't really know much about. Okay, so don't list out skills. Do not simply copy code. And guys, this is my number one advice. Like, honestly, and it's even in an interview, or if you're learning from somebody, ask. Actually, no, that's something you should do. Don't stay quiet. This is my own little feedback, and this one's a bit controversial, guys. Don't stay quiet. And what I mean by this, I'm saying just ask questions. This doesn't mean, like, whenever you're in an interview, or like if you're in a Reddit or any kind of community, guys, speak up. And the reason why I say this is because in interviews, in portfolios, I see too many like very like quiet, and they want to keep everything like very neat and concise. And the thing is, guys, you need to show your skill set. You need to be able to ask the questions and not be afraid to ask the things that people are going to be typically afraid of. So with that said, guys, the main two that I want to focus on right now is do not, oops, let's go ahead and do this. So what is that? Okay, so let's go ahead and do not list out skills. Okay, like, do not do it. Okay, I don't want to see like a list where you've got like, okay, so I know how to use React, so let's go ahead and do React. So that's on my list now. And I know how to use like Redux, and that's on my list now. Like, stop doing that. Do not do that, guys. Like, just big no. Okay, and literally, and this one, do not simply copy code, because literally this is the easiest thing. This is by far the easiest thing to spot. So definitely don't do that. And guys, just always ask questions. Always ask questions. It's going to get you ahead. Don't stay quiet. And I mean, like, do not stay quiet even inside of your portfolio. Make that thing beautiful. Make that thing stand out. Make that thing look like it's just screaming that you want the job, that you are proud of what you have built. I see too many things like template portfolios and template sort of CVs, and guys, it just doesn't make you stand out from the rest of the crowd. So with that said, let's jump back into the code. So guys, if you guys are enjoying this so far as well, please just feel free to smash the thumbs up button and let us know if this is actually useful to you guys and you guys are finding this helpful right now, because that will help us figure out if we should keep doing this. You know, like, a lot of you guys are showing us that you love this and that you're enjoying these live sessions. So honestly, guys, smash the thumbs up button. It will help the video reach more people, and it will help them actually help this video be beneficial to more people, and hopefully we can help as many people as we possibly can. So let's go ahead and have a look at some questions right now. So I have completed projects, but is it okay to use a template for my portfolio website? Good question. So yeah, there is not, like I said, guys, there's nothing wrong with using a portfolio, a template for your portfolio website, but you want to kind of steer away from it, like just straight off the bat, looking like a template. Because the problem is, guys, it's like a resume, right? Like we looked at a resume earlier, and look at this, guys. If you saw a resume like this, right? Now, this is the same thing. It doesn't matter if it's a piece of paper or a website. That we've all seen this before. We've all seen this before. And the minute you see it, guys, I mean, this doesn't like spark any sort of like fireworks off in my head. When I see this, I'm just kind of like, this person's just another kind of average Joe, you know? Like, they're not going to be the person that's going to deserve a salary like $118,000 a year, right? So you really, I would recommend that there's nothing wrong with starting off with a template. A template is better than having no a portfolio. So I would definitely start, if it means getting a template is going to help you get started, then I would definitely go ahead and do that. But definitely try to make that thing look as custom, as personalized as possible, okay? And really try and harness your skill set so that you're able to do that. Now, let's go ahead and check some more. So I just saw a really good question, but it just slipped my my screen. So let's see. I have created a to-do app, Netflix account, and Amazon account as well from your live stream. Thank you, guys. Oh, amazing to see that, Ashish. Nice. I love to see when you guys are actually following these live streams day to day. So if you're enjoying that, yeah, smash the thumbs up button and let us know. Thanks for answers, Sonny. You are a true legend. Thank you so much. How can we build a good website? Okay, this is a good question. How can we build a good website without backend development? So I'm going to answer this in one simple way, guys. So the question here is, how can we build a website without backend development? Do you want to know a secret, guys? These three websites right here. So we have the Messenger app, we have the Netflix app, and we have the Amazon app. When you use Firebase, guys, little tip for you guys, you actually don't need to do much backend development. So this is like literally in these projects, we didn't actually do any backend development really. Like this was all front end. Everything was React. It was all front end. When you have things like Amazon, now you're probably wondering, yeah, but like Sonny, how did you handle the authentication? Like, how am I going to create an account here? Guys, check this out. If I just go ahead and create a dummy account, so let's just go ahead, sonnydummy@gmail.com, ABC, and I go ahead and create your Amazon account. Boom, look at that. Hello, and it signed me in, and I'm already inside my account. I can carry on using the app. Everything seems to work, and it's all good, right? Now, guys, and look, guys, notice how the nav bar actually sticks to the top. If you want to know that, go check that video out. Yeah, so notice how, guys, this was all React.js. So this was all front-end development, okay? And the beauty here, and this is why like I really I'm trying to push this in these calls, is that when you start using Firebase, so Firebase, for many of you guys who don't know what Firebase is a suite of tools by Google, and I'm going to go through that in a second and sort of give you a demonstration as to what you can do with it. And basically in Firebase, guys, you have access to a bunch of useful things. So you have authentication, you have databases, you have storage, you have hosting. Like hosting, so that's literally how I've hosted the websites that you guys are looking at on the screen right now. Storage, if you guys didn't check it out before, we also made an Instagram app. So that's literally an example of where we use this. We have the real-time database. So when you guys saw the to-do app, so not the to-do, yeah, the to-do app or the Messenger app, that was using the real-time database in Firebase. And to handle the authentication that I just demonstrated right here, so even when I click sign out, guys, watch this. It doesn't even refresh. That's how good React is. Look, boom, dynamic, no refreshing, no nothing. And literally that just used the authentication on Firebase. And guys, it worked. It got everything set up. And guys, look at this. You can even do machine learning. So if you're able to demonstrate this, let's go ahead and zoom in. If you're able to demonstrate this, that you can use all of these skills, then it's going to make you stand out. Okay. So that's why I would recommend, yeah. So to answer your question, you don't actually need to know a lot of backend development. So I would actually, for those of you who are wondering on like, should I go into backend? Should I go into front end? What should I really do, Sonny? Like, focus on one area, guys. And if my honest advice would be to focus on front end development if you're new to development, because it's fun, it's quirky. You can build cool websites, like the ones that I've shown here. You can build these kind of sites and get them up and running, and yeah, you're going to get a lot more sort of immediate response when you demonstrate these things, as opposed to showing a little, like a massive kind of algorithm that you wrote and then it just logs out a little line of code at the end. I mean, what are you going to find more interesting, looking at an app like this or like a little console log at the end? So that's why I would definitely go ahead with this. So let's have a look. Okay, so is freelancing a good start? I will answer those questions. I'm going to save those ones to the end. I think right now let's actually carry on with the reason. So there's 3 trending React projects. For those of you who are new, so I can see we've actually got 100 more people that have joined the live stream. Today we are talking about the top 3 trending React.js projects guaranteed to land you a job as a developer. Right? So the why you should definitely have, if you don't already have these 3 projects in your portfolio right now to maximize your chance and guarantee a position as a junior developer. And I can vouch for that, guys. Like, if you have these 3 things, by the 3 projects we mean, we have the Netflix app, we have the Messenger app, and we have the Amazon clone. And yes, guys, if you guys have never seen this before, this is actually an app we built in a live call previously. So go ahead and check that out. Awesome. Yeah, so guys, feel free. So we've just dropped a comment here, so feel free to drop any valuable questions that you want, and I'll be picking them up as we can. And also, guys, if you have recommendations for what you want to build, then I'm just going to repeat what I mentioned earlier. We are actually dropping personalized video feedback on every single person's project, guys. So I don't say that lightly. I mean it, like, I'm not joking. If you create a React project that you're proud of, if you create one of these projects that we talked about in the previous live calls, if you've created this, or you've got some other kind of project that you just want to show off to us, and you want to show off and you want to get some video feedback, guys, for absolutely free, okay? Like, free. There is no charge here. If you go ahead and click the link in the description right now and you fill out the following form. So if you click the link in the description, you're going to go ahead and see this form. You can go ahead and submit your coding project or your portfolio, and we will give you personalized video feedback. So yes, me, Kazi, a member of the team, will literally give you guys personalized video feedback. And all we have are some simple requirements, guys. Please, 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 please make sure your project is completed to the best of your ability. So I don't want any, like, if you're going to do this half-hearted, guys, this takes a lot of time out of for us to go ahead and like go through your videos, go through your code bases. All we ask is that if we can offer this for free for as many people as we can, you just make sure that you submit things which you put your solid heart and effort into, so that we can give you we can provide you guys the most value. So let's go ahead and have a look. So yeah, what I want you guys to do is just pop in your name, your email address, the title of the project, upload screenshots, guys. And if you haven't already, when you are building your projects, shoot an Instagram story, guys. So shoot an Instagram, grab your phone, shoot an Instagram story. If you're watching this right now, pull out your phone. I'd love to see who's watching this right now. And you can just tag us. So just tag me over here and Clever Kazi, and yeah, let us know that you're watching, because we love to start a conversation. And do you know how many guys and girls I've been talking to from the live streams? It's insane. I love speaking to you guys. Drop a live demo link, so please deploy your app so we can actually play with it. And then yeah, if you push the code in the GitHub repo, be sure to actually go ahead and drop the links in the appropriate boxes, and we will get back to you with some personalized video feedback. So yeah, guys, massive value drop over here. So literally just go ahead into the link in the description, click that, and make sure you guys get back. And we will actually literally, I'm not joking, like, I think it's going to blow your minds when you start getting that video feedback. Because we can actually really start to help you out. So somebody asked on Facebook, it doesn't actually show the name, but it says, please, where can I start as a first beginner? Very good question. I'd love to see who that was, but for some reason Facebook isn't showing us who that is. So guys, uh, literally, if you are new to coding and you want to get involved in it, I'm going to quickly explain something before we actually carry on. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is, if you are new to coding, guys, what we cover in these talks right now is web development. Okay, we cover web development, and basically what we have in web development is, it's very simple, guys. Okay, we have, so I'm just going to put up a whiteboard here. We have HTML. Okay, so we have HTML. So that's the one fundamental. We have HTML, we have CSS, and we have JavaScript. Okay, so we have HTML, we have CSS, and we have JavaScript. Now, JavaScript, so HTML is literally what you're going to have on the web page. So it's going to be, this is like the web page, and then HTML is literally everything you see on the web page, that is like how it's laid out, where you put an image, how things are laid out. But HTML by itself is ugly, guys. Okay, it looks like ugly. I mean, by itself, it's not very pretty. So we need some CSS. CSS is how we make things look beautiful, guys. It's how we get apps looking really pretty. It's how we get Netflix looking like Netflix. It's how we pretty much got this app over here looking like the way it does, right? So that's pretty much where we get that from. Now, that is where CSS comes in. So that's where you add a style sheet to your app. But if with just these two, we have a very kind of like a dumb application, I like to call it. And that is where JavaScript comes in, guys. So JavaScript is essentially the brains, okay? So it's where the light bulb kicks in, okay? And this is literally where you're gonna have all of your clever stuff happening, guys. So everything that you see that happens clever, for example, even how I'm drawing on this page right now is running on JavaScript right now. So everything that you do which involves any kind of interaction or any sort of thing fancy, how you guys are watching the live stream right now, is through JavaScript. Okay, now all of this, so this is where React comes in. So these three things are very, very powerful. Okay, but they have limitations. You can only do so much with it. So what the guys over at Facebook did is they kind of grabbed this and they wrapped it in something, and they created a library called React. Okay, many of you guys know it as React JS. So React JS. Okay, and now what this allows you to do is it allows you to build a very powerful single page apps. So we know them as SPA apps. Okay, so single page apps. And guys, this is where the money comes in. Okay, so single page apps are extremely powerful. And just to give you some examples of some apps, so we have the likes of so we have Instagram, we have Tinder, we have Uber. All of these apps, guys, use React behind them, and they power them. If you are on Facebook, so those of you watching on Facebook know that Facebook created React. So they actually just recently rewrote the entire Facebook code base in React. Okay. Somebody asked a good question. So so let's go ahead and finish this question first. So please, where can I start as a first beginner? So just so you know that the reason why I was demonstrating that, guys, is that this is where you're going to start as a beginner, right? I would recommend that you essentially focus on learning. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. So you want to focus on learning these things, okay? So you want to focus on learning. Let's go ahead and undo that. So you want to focus on learning HTML. You want to focus on learning CSS, and you want to focus on learning JavaScript, okay? So these three things are where you need to be putting your time in. So there are plenty of tutorials online. There are plenty of resources online that I would use, W3 Schools, Stack Overflow, those sort of things. But you're only going to go so far, right? So you're going to hit an eventual sort of position where you're like, I'm kind of in tutorial hell and I don't really know where to go. And then you're going to look at React and you're just going to be scared to start React, okay? And now we've all run into this problem, okay? And this is something which it's not, you shouldn't be shy of. This happens to everyone. And what I will recommend, guys, is that you join a community, okay? So, oh wow, and actually, so we have Prince Glaive said, I learned a lot from that explanation. A beginner understood it. Amazing. Glad I could provide some value to you. And if you did like it, then smash the thumbs up button, and I will be happy to drop more of those explanations. But guys, like I said, so you have those as your essential foundations, right? But what I would recommend is that journey gets very, very quickly intimidating. It gets scary. It gets very sort of disheartening when things don't go our way. So what I would recommend is you join some kind of community. And guys, you're in luck. We actually have an amazing community where I am part of the team over at Clever. I am part of that team and I teach over at that team. So we have me, we have Kazi, we have Naz, we have Jacob. And guys, that is over at Clever Programmer. And we have an amazing course called Profit with JavaScript, guys. And what we do here is is completely beginner friendly. So guys, when I say it's beginner friendly, I mean it is completely, you need zero coding experience. So zero coding experience is needed if you're going to join this course. So zero coding experience is needed. You can literally join this course and just get started. So we are beginner friendly, completely beginner friendly, guys. There are 15 JavaScript modules that you can get started on straight away. And guys, this is where we get different. Okay, so yes, you probably have seen this. You probably have seen like Udemy courses that have like, 15 courses or a bunch of courses. But what makes us different, guys? What makes us different from everyone else? And why should you even consider joining a community like Profit with JavaScript? So the reason why I really think it will change your life by joining a community like Profit with JavaScript is because, guys, we have success coaches. We have people who will give you their time and their dedication, and they will give you personalized video feedback on not just one assignment, guys, on every single assignment. Like, I'm not joking, every single assignment that you submit in Profit with JavaScript, you can get personalized video feedback. And we have weekly live coaching calls, guys. So this is where literally you can work alongside me. So I hold every Tuesday, I have a live coaching call, which is all about React. And it's all about how you can maximize your efforts and how you can build an income. And that leads me to our next point, guys. Here, we basically don't just teach you how to actually learn all of the basics of web development, but we also go into depth as to how you can actually go ahead and earn a killing with JavaScript. So you can actually make a ton of money with JavaScript, and we're going to teach you exactly how to do that. So you have the modules where you can go at your own pace. You have the weekly coaching calls, and we have up to 4 weekly coaching calls right now, guys, as well as these lives. So if that's exciting, then let me know in the comments, right? And we also have an exclusive Slack community where you can reach out with me, with Naz, with Kazi, with everybody. So if you are a beginner and you find that you don't really know where to go, then be sure to check out the course. We have dropped a link in the description, and you can go ahead and check that out. And guys, we do come with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you find that you are pretty much, if on the 29th day you find that it doesn't work out for you or it's not what you thought it was, then literally, guys, you can cancel at that point. You can get all your money back. So if you're a beginner, then there's literally nothing that you can lose at that point. Okay, so for those of you asking about how much it is and things like that, just go ahead and click the link in the description, guys. There's a link in the description which will take you to the page that I just showed, and you can go ahead and check out the course for yourself. Okay. So there we go. Okay, so guys, let's jump into why you should need to know these 3 trending React.js projects. Okay, so the first project that we spoke about, so I'm going to draw a list of things. I think that's the way we're going to do this, right? I'm going to draw a list of different topics that I think as a React developer you need to have. And if you have all of this, so guys, I'm going to draw out a list for you guys, and I want you guys to take a screenshot of this list once we've done it, okay? Because this list is going to be the thing that you're going to need to slowly check off. And if you guys can do this, and then you can build these apps that I've showed you, so the Netflix app, the Amazon app, the Facebook Messenger app, they are going to basically demonstrate that you have these skills. And this is what people look for, guys. This is what everyone will look for. And this is what pretty much is going to allow you to land that position as a JavaScript developer. So let's go ahead and list out those skills. So first up, we have, let's go ahead and check. So yeah, we have React.js. Okay, so we all know about React. So we've got React.js. So obviously it's a given. It's the first one there. We need to know it, guys. We need to know how to code in React. Okay. The second one that we have is going to be something that I would recommend you all learn, is something regarding CSS, and that is Flexbox, guys. Flexbox is going to be massive. And the reason why Flexbox is so useful is because, guys, it's just going to allow you to build responsive websites. Okay, so like we're talking websites that look like this. So Notice how when I resize this website, do you see that, guys? It completely works in the way that I need it to work. It's completely doing what it needs to do. Like nothing's breaking at this point, right? So if I go ahead and inspect this as a phone, you guys can pretty much see, like when it's in a tablet view, look at that. Like look at the experience that you're getting there, guys. It doesn't break. It doesn't freak out. If anything, look, we've got this scrollable carousel at the bottom here, and we've got this beautiful looking, and notice, guys, look at that as I scroll down. How lovely is that transition at the top? Look at that, like that smooth, silky transition. And like we can scroll through this, everything's so nice and clean. If I go ahead and click this link, you see we get a drop down video and it just plays the video and we've got a live thing playing there. So guys, this is what we call responsive design, okay? And a lot of websites, you will see this in, for example, even here, you can see as everything gets smaller, it doesn't break, guys. It just simply restyles, okay? It restyles and it works accordingly. And even here, guys, if we go ahead and inspect, same deal, right? So that the app doesn't freak out, it doesn't break, but it just works really nicely. So Flexbox is going to allow you to be able to do these things, okay? So this is something that you really should invest some time into. So CSS, in particular, Flexbox. The next one is going to be something called the React. So there's two things here, guys. There's the React Context API, okay? Now, many of you guys who haven't actually used React. So firstly, I just want to kind of run through these points. React is what is powering all of these apps, guys. So all of the apps that I've demonstrated, so these three apps, React is powering everything here. So it's obviously going to be the number one skill that we have. CSS Flexbox allows us to have responsive designs. And the third one is the React Context API. Now, for many of you who don't know what that is, you may have also heard of something called Redux, okay? Now, Redux is simply going to, let's go ahead and do this. Now, Redux is, so this right here is going to probably be one of the most valuable things you could learn to actually guarantee landing a job as a developer. Now, what is the React Context API? Okay, so what is it, or what is Redux? So firstly, I would recommend out of these two, if you have heard of Redux, I would recommend that you actually go ahead and learn the React Context API, and then you go ahead and learn Redux, because guys, Redux has a much sort of higher learning curve. So React Context API is actually going to be something which you can pick up relatively easily, okay? So it's relatively easy to pick it up once you actually understand what's going on and how it works. And we actually have a tutorial of this in the Amazon live build, so you can go ahead and check that out, and we pretty much show how all of that works. Now in Redux it's a bit of a steeper learning curve, okay? So Redux is something which is much harder. So at this point, my little hack for you guys is that if you can demonstrate that you know how to use the React Context API, then guys, you can pretty much trick your way into a job, because like at this point, the React Context API is so much easier to implement than Redux. And you can pretty much demonstrate that, because guys, both of these things, React Context API and Redux, use the same patterns, okay? So if anyone's used that, please let me know in the comment section. I would love to see that. Somebody just dropped a very useful thing here. So they said, learn Grid and Flexbox. Flexbox is great for one-dimensional changes. Grid is better for better page layout. Amazing comment right there, guys. Very, very good point. So let's go ahead and add that to the sort of the list of things. So Flexbox and CSS Grid, okay? They are two very, very important things, guys. So really good comment, actually, Steve McCarty. Thank you for sharing that. Bootstrap as well, guys. Bootstrap's really good. Now, when it comes to landing a job, honestly, I would really recommend you learn these two things. So you actually focus and put more time into Flexbox and Grid, CSS Grid, because guys, these two are going to be what actually allow you to go ahead and build custom websites. Now, when you know Flexbox, Bootstrap, most of the time I find that I fight with Bootstrap, so I've kind of stopped using it as much, right? So Steve McCarty, actually dropped another thing. So he said, so Steve McCarty is actually a CTO, I believe. I saw a comment earlier. So guys, this is a comment from somebody who's actually in the industry himself. He goes, you can just use context. We never use Redux. And that's a very fair point, guys. I've actually stopped using Redux in a lot of my my own projects, because it's just so heavy. Like there's no need to have such a heavy sort of add-on into React. And so I actually try and use I keep it very lightweight with the React Context API. So let's go ahead and have a look. somebody actually asked, okay, so I will go into that question afterwards, but somebody asked what the difference is between React and React Native. And if anyone else wants to know that, drop a comment, because that's actually a very good question, and we will come to that in a second. Okay. Yeah, so what I'm going to do now is go ahead and carry on, guys. So there's a few more things. Okay. So authentication. So authentication is something that's pretty huge, guys. It's pretty huge for one simple reason: we need it everywhere. Okay. So authentication. Now, when I'm talking about authentication, I'm talking about, yes, like you saw earlier, guys, logging into systems. Okay. So like here I had Sonny at dummy at gmail.com. Gmail.com. Ooh, God, what is going on? Gmail.com. And here I do ABC. Let me sign in. And look, you can see it signed me in. So that is an actual completely built authentication system, guys. And the way I did that is I learned how to use something called Firebase Authentication. So over here, we have Firebase Authentication, and what they allow you to do in Firebase, and we teach this in the live streams and in the Profit with JavaScript course, which remember, guys, link in the bio if you are interested in joining us. I teach this every single week in the React coaching course. But what you can do with Firebase Authentication is you can actually go ahead and click sign in method. And guys, what's amazing here is for those of you who haven't actually gone ahead and implemented a authentication system before, it's a nightmare. It's actually quite a big headache to get that done. But Firebase make it so effortless, guys. Like, not only do you get email and password registration, you get phone login, you get Google login, you get Facebook, Twitter, GitHub, Microsoft, Apple, and even anonymous authentication, which is amazing. And also, you can authorize just the domains that you want so that you can sort of protect your app if anyone's worried about security. And guys, they even go a step further. So, you know those things like when you forget your password and those sort of things, right? You can even have, it's all built in. So look, you can actually just modify the template here, and you would literally just click on this link, and this link would just take you. So I'm going to go ahead and open that. Look, oh, okay, that one's not deployed, so it's not going to work. But it's going to actually allow you to go ahead and just follow that link and reset your password if you was to implement that functionality in the website. So all of this stuff, guys, is actually really, really, like, it is game changing. Like, I'm not joking when I say this, it's game changing. And whenever we sort of live demo this and we show people this, the sort of learning curve to this stuff is actually not that high, but the output and what you end up building, like, honestly, like the fact that you can build this and you can have a database and you can have the React Context API. So again, remember we spoke about the React Context API. This app right here is using it, guys. So I'll go into that in a second. But just want to wrap up on that final comment as to around the authentication. So like, even if right now, if I was to, let's just go ahead and zoom in so you can see over here, we've got Sonny. So as soon as I sign out, guys, if I click this, this will actually de-authenticate me and sign me out. And you see that there was no refresh. Everything was very quick and sweet. Now, you can already start to see what I'm trying to go with here, right? So we have some authentication, but like, guys, I remember I said earlier, don't list out your traits, right? And the reason why I say don't list out your traits is because it's literally a case of, if you can go ahead and show apps like this, if you can go ahead and just look, if you could just give someone a link and say, go ahead. And guys, by the way, guys, if you actually want to check this out for yourself, the links for these apps are in the description. So if you don't believe me and you think these are fake, then just go ahead and check them out. Okay. So yeah, what I want you guys to go and do is go check it out. And yeah, like if you had an employer and you said, like, he's like, oh, have you ever used an authentication system? You could be like, sure, let me actually pull up my app right now and show you. So you can go here, sign in, boom. You can show them that you have complete authentication. And guys, even check this out, right? So look what I'm about to do right now. So say that I have an email address right here, so gmail.com, and say like my password is too short, and I try and click create an account. Password should be at least 6 characters. That's all powered by Firebase, guys, which is insane, right? And we actually go through this on the live demonstration previously, so you guys can go ahead and check that out if you find that useful. So the authentication is a big, important topic that you guys will need to learn, okay? Now, the next one that I want to brush over is hosting. Okay, so hosting. So a lot of people I tend to see have applications, they sort of have things built, but they tend to basically, so when I say, okay, like, perfect, can you show me? Then what I tend to see is they would actually go ahead and be like, yeah, here's my GitHub link. Just clone it, just do npm start and just run it. And you're like, oh man, like, and then what would happen is you'd usually run into some kind of environment variable setup. And guys, like, You just need to be able to show the app as easy as possible. Like right now, if any of you guys go ahead and like click that link, you can go and check this app out yourself. Like, and this is what I'm saying. Like, not only are they going to be able to see what you have built, right? They're going to be able to go ahead and see what you have built. But as soon as they look at this app, they can see like straight away. Like, remember those topics that we spoke about earlier? So we had CSS, Flexbox, and Grid, right? Straight away they can see here, you've got some Flexbox going on. Okay, wow, like this guy knows how to use Flexbox. Then you can be like the React Context API. You can be like, sure, this uses the React Context API. For those of you who don't know what that is, essentially it's basically like a data layer. Okay, so like for example, I have the basket over at this side, and the basket is a completely separate component to the homepage. So right here, so if I go ahead and add a few things to my basket and add a few things over here, you see I have access to it over here. So essentially we're pushing things into that data layer, and then I can actually manipulate them by using dispatching things called actions. And notice when I remove the final one, look what happens. Whoa, you have no items in your basket. And then actually you see that subtotal at the side. So if I go ahead and add a few more items, you can see this. Look at that subtotal, and it actually tallies it up. So guys, so notice the price right here. If I deduct 239, I should have 1196 here. And no, I wasn't working out. I just looked at the price. So if we go ahead and do that, I can see, look, pay attention to this over here. So boom, and look at that. You see it updated the price right over here, and everything worked in real time. So now, just from that demo, you can pretty much demonstrate that you know how to use the React Context API, okay? And not only that, authentication we spoke about, you can pretty much demo this, and you can then again talk about how you have authentication and you can use it. And guys, all of this is hosted, right? So we teach you how to do that. So if you literally are unsure about, you're interested in knowing how we do that, check out the live sessions. Or if you're really interested and want to go in depth, PWJ guys, Profit with JavaScript, link is in the description, and you can go ahead and join us. And I will literally personally jump on a call with you right after this, and we can pretty much have a chat and we can talk about how to do that. And that's not a joke, guys. I will literally physically jump on a call with you guys and go ahead and if I get enough people, we can start building something, right? So that's what literally I'm promising to you guys. So let's go ahead and carry on. So we have Firebase hosting. So yeah, just to give you guys a demonstration, if you go into Firebase hosting, you can actually see over here, you have like a bunch of deployments where I pushed the app out. And guys, it's so powerful because like, say for example, I deployed the app and something went crazy wrong and I broke everything. I could just go here, click this button and click rollback. Oh, some of you guys might be able to see that. But if I click this rollback, that will literally just undo all the changes, okay? It will undo the changes and literally it will save the day. So these are really valuable skills, okay? And you can start to see like, okay, so Steve Macadia says, change the basket in the Amazon app to cater for multiples of the same item. Yes, very good point. So I will just put that here. It's a really good point, Steve. We can actually include a part 2. So if you guys are interested in seeing a part 2 for this, where we actually sort of gather, so that what Steve's saying is if we had like several of these books inside of the basket, so they groups them together, so it would actually say 6 or like 5 books, as opposed to having like just like them stack on top of each other. If you want to know about that, or even how we can have like a checkout and a payment system, then let us know in the comments. And actually, just like, guys, remember, I'll tell you what, right now, guys, if you want to see a part 2 of either the Netflix clone, so either the Netflix clone, so you want us to go a bit more in depth into this stuff. So if you want to go a bit more in depth into this, or if you want to go a bit more in depth into the Amazon app, then let me know by literally grabbing your phone, shooting a story, tag me in it. So my tag is right here. Ooh, where is it? Okay, it's so hard to do this. Okay, so yeah, up here, tag me in it and let me know, because, and just literally write like, we want part 2. That's all I want, right? We want part 2. And that's it, guys. All I need to hear is we need it. We want part 2. And I'm going to build that for you guys. And I'm going to go ahead and build it free on YouTube live. And literally we can go ahead and get that running and up and running, okay? So if you guys find that, and if that excites you guys, drop some fire in the chat and hit the smash the thumbs up button, and I will be happy to go ahead and build that kind of stuff for you. So let's carry on, guys. The next one that many of us know and love is something like this. It goes something like this. It's databases, okay? Now, the one database that we all may have heard of is SQL. You've got NoSQL databases. An example of NoSQL database is something like MongoDB. And this is where you'll start to hear words like MERN stack, okay? Now, these are great, okay? But I highly recommend you just go ahead and learn Firebase. And in particular, what I'm talking about is Firebase Firestore. Now, why am I telling you to learn this? Because it allows you to have such a powerful app with such little setup, guys. No, I'm not joking. It's such a powerful app with very little setup. So this right here, the learning curve to this is extremely easy. Once you get it, it's extremely easy, and it's so powerful, guys. Like, this is so powerful. It's insane. Like, let's go ahead and look at the app that we spoke about earlier. So let's go ahead and look at the app that we spoke about earlier. So we've got this. So let's go ahead and check this out. So over here, if we go type a message and press this. So if I go ahead and do this, so I say like, yo, hello guys. Right now, notice how, guys, this is all in a DB right now. So if I go ahead and do this, yo, hello guys, look at that. It was real time, right? So that was a real time, like real time. We pushed it into the database and it updated, right? So I can see loads of comments flooding in right now. Part 2 Netflix, hell yeah, let's do this. Let's have products from the database. Yes, we can definitely do that. Awesome. We can definitely do that, guys. So what I would like to, so we pretty much have, in this case, we didn't use a DB for the Netflix build. For here, we could definitely upgrade this to have products in the DB. Here, guys, we actually used APIs. So that leads me on to my next point. So I will come back to the database point, but like here right now is using how to use an API, Now, for those of you who don't know what an API is pretty much, it's called an application programming interface. Now, do we care what that means? Honestly, like no, we don't really need to know exactly what that means. But all we need to know is that when you have one service, guys, so like let's say for example I had so the way I pulled those films in, so the way I pulled all of these films in was on a service called TMDB. Okay, so we had TMDB, and this was a movie database. Okay, now they had something called an API which allowed me to act with all of the data that they have, and basically what I was able to do is pull that in. And you see, like, I didn't manually enter any of this stuff. Like, I just pulled this in from an API and I rendered it on my front end. And pretty much, notice the top right here. If I refresh this, guys, look at this. Like, so that in that time it stayed the same. But if I refresh it again, look, we've got a new top. It's dynamic. Okay, it's pulling from that API. And here we have Star Wars, the Clone Wars, and like you can see, like, guys, it's pulling it dynamically, and you can pretty much see. You can pretty much see the information being refreshed in real time, and it's going to be pulling from that API, bringing it in, and it shows that you can use an API. So guys, that's what I'm saying here. Can you start to see where this is pulling together, right? So like here we have, this is going to be a completely, like a massively valuable skill to learn right here, how to use an API, because payment systems like Stripe, like PayPal, all of these systems, guys, they require you to actually interact with their API. So knowing how to use an API is going to be massively valuable. So somebody says, can we build a large application with Firebase? Yes, we can. Definitely we can. And actually, we've already built a fair amount of applications with it. So the Netflix app was built with Firebase. The Amazon app was built with Firebase. So these are all being hosted on Firebase right now. This app had a Firebase database inside of it. So of course, to answer your question, yes, we can. And if you guys have any ideas, again, shoot a story, tag me in it over here. And if you guys aren't following, give me a follow, because I do like to post a bit of content about all of this stuff. And also, if you want to keep in touch or you want some support or help, then yep, I would be happy to have a chat with you guys. Let's go ahead and check. So now we talked about APIs. I think let's go ahead and have a second look at the, so let's go ahead and double check over at this, because this is actually a really interesting, important point, guys. Databases, okay? Now, databases, why are they so important? Like, why do we need a database? Because in React, what tends to happen, guys, is notice what happens there, okay? So when you're on the Amazon website, typically when you add things to your database, so let's say I go ahead and add some items here, and I go ahead and I need a new mixer. I want an Amazon Echo. I'm going to go ahead and grab a iPad Pro, okay? So I go ahead and grab that. Click the checkout button. So I'm going to delete that. So I just got a few things here, right? Now, what happens is that even though this is using the React Context API, right now it's a case of if I refresh the page, React has non-persistent, right? The React has non-persistent, it has non-persistent memory, which means, look what happens when I refresh, guys. Look what happens. It disappears. Okay, it disappears. So we really do need. Oh, that's a really nice question somebody just asked. I'm gonna actually pin that right now, and I will get to that in a sec. So guys, we do need databases because um you see, like, this information, like, one, I would like to have this information in a database. Like right now, all of this stuff is essentially stored in a database, but we're pulling it from an API. Okay, but for example, these messages, when you're in a messenger app, like for example WhatsApp, you don't go into your phone and your messages are suddenly disappeared, right? You need to keep those messages. You need to have them. So knowing how to use databases is massively valuable. And I would recommend that each of you guys go ahead and just sign up to Firebase. It's completely free. Click the database tab and start messing around with Firestore. So here you would just go here, create database, start it in test mode. That will actually allow you to sort of go into it, and you don't need to do the production mode just yet, guys. Click next, and you can pretty much go through this and set up your first sort of database instance. And guys, here you can see it's a real-time database, powerful queries, and automatic scaling, which means that no matter what, if 10 billion people went onto this app, it's going to work and it's going to scale, because guys, you have the power of Google with this stuff. Now, a lot of people might be wondering, yeah, but Mernstack, what about MongoDB? What about Express and things like that? And this leads me on to this question. Oops, I actually had two things pinned up. So this leads me on to this question right here. So guys, what's your take on Cloud Functions by Firebase? So Zaki, very good question. Okay, it's a really good question. And actually, this is something that I'm going to go ahead and add because it's so amazing that you've said that. So let me go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and just pop this up for a second. I'm going to go here and I'm going to go add that. So serverless architectures, guys. Serverless architectures, or let's just go ahead and call it serverless. And what I mean by that is I'm going to add it underneath. I'm going to say learn how to use cloud functions, right? Now, a lot of you guys would have seen something called Express, right? We all might have run into it at one point. Express is going to be so let me get rid of that. So some of us would have heard about something called Express, or and that runs using Node.js. Okay, so Express uses something called Node.js, right? Node.js, and Node.js is essentially just JavaScript, but it's just for the backend, so it's on the servers, right? So React and normal JavaScript runs on the front end, and we have Node.js on the back end. Express is where you have your own server, right? So imagine like we have our own server. So let's go ahead and say like we have our own server, and that's somewhere here, and then we have our web page. So like up here, so this is our cool little web page, right? So this is our portfolio at the top, and then this every night. So say I click on a button on this web page, it makes a request to my server, and then my server might make it might send some information back. Okay, now typically what we used to have to do is we'd have to maintain our own servers. Okay, so we'd have to maintain our own servers, but now with serverless architectures, what we can do is we can actually build these amazingly powerful cloud functions, guys. And this is where serverless architectures come in. And guys, once you know how to use cloud functions, so yes, the learning curve is fairly sort of, I would say it's a medium level skill. Okay, so it's a medium level skill. Like, it's going to take you a little bit of time to get used to it, but once you know it, and once you understand what's going on with service architectures, they're just more scary. They just sound more scary than they really are, guys. And again, if you guys do want to know that, I go into heavy depth, and I will actually go into these in the coaching calls on Profit with JavaScript every single week. So these weekly coaching calls right here, I actually go into this quite heavily, especially because a lot of my students have been asking for this. So I will be doing this, especially I think it's next Tuesday. I can cover this next Tuesday. So if you guys are interested, be sure to go ahead and join Profit with JavaScript. Link in the description. Make sure you go and check that out. Okay. So let's go back to that drawing that I was mentioning. So yeah, here we have React.js. So serverless architectures. So really good point by Zaki Talib, and I think that might have been over the top of that. So if you guys couldn't see that, here we have what I was talking about, serverless and learning how to use cloud functions. Now, what are cloud functions? Really good point. And again, guys, you wouldn't be surprised that Firebase also supports that. Right, so Firebase is something you need in your arsenal of skills and things like that, right? Somebody said how many people are in Earth. Okay, so here, like, function. Oh, that's a really good point. So somebody said, how many people are in the earth? And then he replied saying 10 billion, right? 10 billion people in the earth. Like, guys, with functions, with cloud functions, even if 10 billion people go into your app, you have got Google servers that will scale and handle that capacity, right? So literally it's going to work regardless of how big it is and things like that. So honestly, it will. Live is not clear, maybe some connection issues. Guys, if it is cutting out, that's completely fine. It will be up afterwards to rewatch. Right, so here, guys, here is pretty much a cloud function is essentially a piece of code. So it's a function which is going to be hosted online, and it is going to allow you. So a lot of people are asking, what would you use your own backend instead of Firebase? So guys, I would actually recommend you go ahead and just, if you do, so this is my advice to you guys, right? Build your front end until you need a back end, right? So build your front end until you find a requirement for your back end, and then go ahead, and if it's a database that you need, go ahead and use Firebase to handle your database, right? Now, if that doesn't solve all your real problems and you need some more functionality past that, then I would recommend that you go ahead and look at something called cloud functions. So over here, cloud functions, right? Now, this is basically where you would essentially write a function, and buffering quite a lot. It says, okay, so I'm sorry about that, guys. It should be clearing up soon. And basically what's going to happen here is basically you're going to write a function, you're going to deploy it online, and then basically you'll get an endpoint, so an API endpoint, and pretty much you can call that endpoint. And we use cloud functions all the time at Clever Programmer to get everything that we need working, and it works and scales amazingly. So definitely something I would recommend you guys all learn. So really useful stuff right there. So guys, recap of everything that we have right here. So we have React.js, which is going to be your absolute game changer in terms of making money. So React.js is going to be your money pot, guys. It's going to be pretty much, if you learn this one skill, it's going to be huge for you guys. Then you have CSS, and in particular, you have CSS Flexbox and you have CSS Grid. And then, guys, we're talking about the React Context API, right? So the React Context API, so let me just clean this up a bit. So we have the React Context API over here. So let me just clean that. Boom. There we go. Nice little tool right here. So we have the React Context API. So definitely go ahead and learn this. It's going to be massive value. Again, like I said, guys, go ahead and learn the Context API instead of Redux. Redux has a much harder sort of learning curve. If you guys like and enjoy the React Context API, then go ahead and give Redux a try. So start with this and then move over to that. Okay. Then I want you guys to go ahead and fit all of these into your skill set. Okay, so I'm talking authentication, hosting, databases, how to use an API serverless, and how to use cloud functions. Now, that sounds like a hell of a lot of things to do, guys. It sounds like a lot of things, but do you know what demonstrates all of this in one page? So look, this is kind of cool, right? But this is a list. Right now, if I showed you this, you'd be like, oh my God, Sonny, there's so much on the web page. There's just too much to handle, right? You're just going to be like, there is just so much here. Like this is what people see when they see lists. Nothing's clear, right? But let's go ahead and break this down into those 3 projects that we showed earlier, right? So let's go ahead and break that down. So we had React, right? React is being used in each of these web pages right now. It's being used here, it's being used here, and it's being used here, right? And look, somebody is actually on. Hey, nice. Good to see you there. So we pretty much have each of these 3 amazing apps being powered by React. So that already sort of starts to put you into, into that space of like earning as a React developer. Maybe you're not at the 118 mark yet, but like you're definitely in the space of a junior position at that point, right? And then we want to talk about the React Context API. So we're talking about this. Right now, the React Context API is basically where look at this. This demo pretty much demonstrates that you can use that. You can go ahead and add a few things to your basket. It works. So there you go. It stores some information. Like there you go. It works really well. Everything gets updated appropriately. You can demo it. You can show your skill set off. Now, awesome. Like you pretty much can demonstrate that you know how to use the React Context API. And once you know how to use that, a senior developer will know that because you know how to use that, it's very likely that you can pick up Redux pretty easy because the two patterns are very similar. Okay. Then we spoke about authentication. So authentication, guys, you can just demo this. You can demo how you can sign in. You can demo how it all works and how it uses Firebase Authentication to handle that, right? We have hosting. That's very simple. When you have 3 apps on your portfolio, you can say, hey, all 3 of these apps are hosted. So there you go. All 3 apps are hosted. They're going to be live, and you can pretty much show that you know how to host an app. Then we have how to use an API. Guys, here we're pretty much like, once you have this app built, look at this. You have the whole app built, and it's pulling in from the TMDB movie database right here. So it's pulling all of these films in from here, and it's using an API to do that, right? So you can pretty much show like, yeah, I know how to use an API. And I know also, by the way, while you're showing that, you can be like, oh yeah, also I know about responsive design. Look, check it out. See how the top banner changed? Look at that. Works really nice. And you can pretty much demonstrate that, and you can show like how everything works really slick and really nice, okay? So we have that. And then we have serverless and how to use cloud functions. So in this case, these 3 applications don't actually demonstrate. We did actually have a cool cloud function here where if there was any sort of bad language that was used here, then it was going to actually, it uses a cloud function to exit out. But we protected that because we don't want anyone swearing on these live chats. We want to keep it positive up in here, guys. So yeah, we want to keep that very fresh and clean. But you can definitely quite easily go ahead and get that built as well into these apps. So takeaway from this, guys, all of these skills that we spoke about here, right? All of these skills, so like all of the ones mentioned here, if you have all of those skills, right, then you can either, 1, list it in a boring resume. You can list it in a boring resume. You can either like list all these skills out, and yeah, you can add some color to it. You can make it look a bit colorful like this, or you can just have it looking very dull and sort of, you know, like that, right? Or you can go ahead and be like, you know what? Boom, here's my portfolio. Look how beautiful it is. Look for yourself, give it a play around. The person, the developer's going to come in and be like, whoa, like this is real time. Like, and then you can literally play with them. You're going to show off how you know how to use React. You know how to use React because you built 3 amazing apps that look beautiful with it. You're going to show how you can use the React Context API, and you can demo it and you can pretty much play through it and say, yeah, sure, like have a go with it. You know what, let's go ahead and buy something together. You can demo all of that with him. You're going to go ahead and show how you know authentication because you've got that up and running on your app. Hosting, sure, all 3 apps are hosted. They can scale. And guys, oh, very good point, by the way. So I'm going to pin this for in a second. This is a very good sort of point here. So I will go ahead and hide that for now. But guys, yeah, so you pretty much have those being demonstrated. You have APIs. You're demonstrating how you can use your API here, and you have responsive design. So guys, pretty much just by showing these 3 apps, do you see the wealth of knowledge that you are demonstrating? It's like, it's insane. Like as a junior developer, if I saw somebody rock up to an interview and be like, yeah, I've got some 3 apps I'd like to show you, and they presented these 3 apps and they were able to run through it, I'd be like, wow, not only are these apps beautiful, these apps are super functional, and this guy's gone ahead and he's learning cutting edge stuff, or this girl's gone ahead and learning cutting edge stuff. Like it's really going to separate you from the crowd, right? Now let's go ahead and take a moment to go ahead and answer some questions. So we have David Dunnington says, have you got a React Native course? So it's a very good question, guys. If you guys don't know what React Native is, it is essentially, so you have React and then you have React Native. React Native is how you build iOS and Android apps. So let's go ahead and I'm just going to go ahead and do this. So how do I cut this out? So let's just go ahead and grab all of this. So you can pretty much use React. So React is how you're going to build web apps. So you have React. React. I'm not the best drawer, guys. Apologize. So we have React, and then we have a React Native. Okay. So React Native. Okay. We have React and we have React Native. Okay. Now, React is essentially how we're going to build all of these beautiful apps. So you can see this. Now, guys, the entire code base. So when you have a React, now React is, you see it as that sort of, oh God, that's horrible. Like all of the skills that you're going to learn here. So all of the skills that you learn with React, whether it's the context API, whether it's responsive design even, or like anything whether it be like how to use authentication, how to use like use effect, use hooks, so like even the hooks, for example, so React hooks, um, everything is transferable. So you can cross this bridge, guys. It's completely transferable with React Native. So you can use all of that, and you can use that to make money, guys. Like you can go ahead and make money with this. And now, for those of you wondering, what is this? Like, what is React Native? It's basically how you go ahead and build iOS and Android apps using a React code base. So essentially, what you would do is you can code up an app in React, and say you want to make an iOS and Android app from it. You can just pretty much translate the code base to React Native, and you can basically take a React app, so a web page where you've got a bunch of stuff on side of that web page, and you can pretty much translate that to a beautiful looking iPhone app. So you can pretty much have a phone. That's a little my little iPhone, and you can have pretty much your app running, and you can have your Android or iOS app working on that, and you can have, for example, WhatsApp, and you can have like your little chat going. And guys, you can see that like pretty much like it's a massive skill, guys. So React is not only going to allow you to be able to code really nice looking web apps, but also stunning, really powerful React Native apps. Okay, so let's see. I'll tell you what, guys, let's actually have a bit of a Q&A now. So firstly, I hope that let's actually just wrap this up a little bit, right? So 3 apps that you guys need to have in your portfolio, which I can guarantee you will land you an amazing permanent position somewhere, or a freelance contract, or somebody that you're teaching. Facebook Messenger app. It's going to demonstrate real-time DB, a bunch of things, and it's hosted online. And it's just a cool app to show, guys. Like, it's a really cool app to show. The second one, Amazon build, right? We have the React Context API. We have authentication. We have Firebase hosting. We have React. We have a responsive design. You see, like, everything sort of resizes and looks beautiful. And if you guys are wondering why it slices off at the sides, that's actually a good design pattern to do that. So that's something which you can look into. And like, again, it demonstrates that you know those things. We have authentication. We have the React Context API. Everything works really nice. Even the header follows us down. You see that? Awesome. Then we have Netflix. Netflix is not only a beautiful looking app, it's something which shows, like, look at that animation at the top, a lovely animation at the top. It pulls data in from a API, so everything's sort of fresh and it's pulling it in. You see how it's pulling all of this in. It's responsive. It looks beautiful. It looks amazing. It's mobile friendly. Doesn't matter if we're in a mobile or if we're in a desktop, it works. And pretty much like you can click something and play it at this point and it will just work, right? So these 3 apps are going to demonstrate so much more than you could ever show in then a simple resume, okay? And that's really going to separate you from the rest of the crowd, right? So if you guys found that cool and useful, not only are these 3 apps amazing, but guys, we have live streams on every single app, and you can go ahead and watch those right now on YouTube for absolutely free. They're absolutely free, and you can go ahead and check that out and see. You can go ahead and check that out and build these for yourself in those live streams. So guys, if you think that's pretty cool, then drop some comments in there to let me know if you found that useful. Smash the thumbs up button if you think that is something which has helped you guys out. And guys, remember, before we actually carry on to a Q&A, I just want to go ahead and remind you guys that if you guys go ahead and do build those projects, remember, if you want personalized video feedback on your projects, go ahead and check out the link in the description, where we will pretty much be going through all of your submissions. So the link in the description is one of the first links in the description. We're going to go through all of your descriptions, all of your submissions, and we are going to go ahead and give you personalized, yes, that's right, guys, we're going to give you personalized video feedback, something that has not been done before, guys. Like, this doesn't happen on YouTube channels. I haven't really seen any other coding YouTubers do this. Like, we're going to go ahead and give you guys personalized video feedback for all of the submissions that you send over to our way. And guys, remember, take this seriously. Like we said, we do get a lot of submissions with this kind of stuff. So really do upload a screenshot and deploy it. So yeah, I'm just sharing this. So I want you to upload screenshots, live demo links, Tell us which project you're coming from, what you learn, and anything else that we want to know. And also let us know what topics we want us to cover in upcoming live calls. So me, Kazi, me, Nas and Jacob, we've got the whole team that is going to be jumping on here right now, okay? And guys, if you guys enjoyed that and you want to kind of push your skill set further and you feel that you want to be a part of something bigger, then guys, link in the description and you guys can go ahead and check that out. And guys, I'm just going to mention it one last time. Profit with JavaScript. It is literally game changer, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this. So profit with JavaScript, guys, it is a game changer where we are going to take you from being a complete beginner to landing your first client or position. A lot of our students right now have actually got jobs. They've got full-time jobs. And I love to see that, guys. So when I see our students get jobs, it makes my entire day, like it makes my entire year for that. Like when I see somebody else that is making like money from the skills that we've been able to teach them, it just blows my mind. Okay. And it actually it really does give me like such a high. Yeah, and we pretty much have weekly coaching calls, guys, and these are really value packed. Like these are honestly worth. So a lot of our students say it's worth a 10K coding bootcamp, like the equivalent of a 10K coding bootcamp. And guys, we don't just teach you how to code, we teach you how to make money with it. And that's what really separates us from everyone else out there. And guys, I can't stress it enough. If you enjoyed this call and you found it useful and you want to get involved, then guys, 30-day money back guarantee. You can pretty much go ahead and check out the link in the description. Join and cancel on the 29th day if you're not happy with it. So go ahead and give that a go. And you've got a bunch of stories on here about how these are actually clients that we've had and students that we've had on the course itself. And somebody actually got 110,000, guys. So remember when you guys were like, I can guarantee some of you guys were shocked when I showed you this, right? Someone landed a contract for 110,000, guys. Like that's amazing. That's insane. Like if you guys find that amazing, like just drop some fire right now. Nazari he actually got a $110,000 contract. Like it blew my mind when I saw that. So guys, as I mentioned, link in the description. Give it a check out if you're interested. Right. So we are going to go on to a Q&A now. So pretty much we're going to wrap up with a final Q&A. And this is going to be a chance for me to be able to talk to you guys and be able to answer any questions that you guys have. So let's go ahead and jump right in. So guys, just pretty much any questions at this point. Free fire if you want. We're going to go for about 10 minutes. And we are pretty much going to answer any questions that we can in that time frame. So let's have a look at what you have. So somebody said build a portfolio with React. 100%, guys. If you have a beautiful portfolio and you actually said this portfolio was built in React and it's deployed on Firebase, can you see how that's literally going to speak 1,000 words in itself? Because it's literally going to be like, oh, the actual portfolio is built in React. So definitely some good advice from Alexandros right there. Let's go and have a look. So hi, Versatile, this side. From where can I learn JavaScript? So as I mentioned, you can pretty much either watch the live streams. There's plenty of free content out there. We actually have plenty of free content on this channel. If you want to get involved in something more and you want to get involved in something which is like more sort of fulfilling and more sort of like community driven, Profit with JavaScript, you can check that out in the description. And also I would highly recommend that you actually go ahead and check out the live builds that we previously done in the last few days for where we built the 3 apps that we spoke about today and the ones that are going to guarantee you a job as a developer. Okay. Let's go have a look. So Edwin asked a good question. He said, do you mean that for this type of project it's better to make our own backend and upload it to our own server and hosting? So honestly, guys, at this point, don't do that. I would say go ahead and build projects, show that you can code in React, use Firebase, make your life super easy, guys. Firebase makes it so easy to be able to actually deploy an app to a website. So if you watched some of the live calls previously, we we got the app running, and then once it was built, we were able to deploy it super fast. Like, it was unreal how quickly we got that thing up and running in the air. If you want to make a change to it, you can deploy it and everything will go really nice and smooth. So yeah, to answer that question, you don't need to build your own backend. Use Firebase as a nice quick solution to get that working. That's really nice. Let's go and have a look. So what is Firebase? Yeah, so Firebase is a really good question. What is Firebase? So I think I'll pin it right now. So what is Firebase? So we have Firebase is a suite of tools by Google, guys. It's a highly wanted skill, and it's coming up. I can see a lot more job openings for it. It has authentication. It has, I'm just going to go ahead and draw on the screen right now. So it's a suite of tools by Google. It has authentication. It has a database, which is a real-time database, guys, where it literally gives you the functionality of this, where pretty much as you type in and as you send messages, you can see other people's messages, which is awesome. You have storage, which is how we actually coded up an Instagram clone previously in the week. You have Firebase hosting, so you can pretty much deploy your apps. So like these 3 apps are hosted online right now and available for you guys. You've got Firebase Cloud Functions, which are amazingly powerful and super scalable. And you also have some amazing other stuff. So you have like Crashlytics, analytics. If you want to track how your company is growing, you've got A/B testing, cloud messaging. This is all in-app messaging. So like notifications, sending notifications from a React Native app. And guys, remember, and by the way, it's worth mentioning that this is completely free. So most of the stuff on Firebase is completely free for what you're going to need. So actually hosting your websites is free. Okay, so that's going to really benefit a lot of you guys. Make sure you definitely take advantage of that. Yeah, and also you guys, you got machine learning. So that this is a really, really cool use case. So like, if we go ahead and click learn more, I think they have an example here where they talk about it. You can pretty much have things like, look, you can have image recognition. You can have like if you pass it a picture of like a picture, you see it shows you what, like it's got a sun, it's got a cloud, it's got sky, hills, it's got birds inside of it. Really, really powerful stuff, guys. And this is all done with a very, very simple installations and things like that. So extremely powerful with Firebase. So Bhargav asked, is React.js and Firesaw a good modern tech stack? It is the most underrated. I'm telling you guys, I am predicting this. React.js and Firestore is a match made in heaven. So a lot of people are going crazy with the MAN stack, which is MongoDB, Express, React, and the N. See, I can't remember the exact thing, but a lot of people go crazy over that. Yes, you're going to need to know that. But React.js and Firestore, guys, is a match made in heaven. The apps that we built were just simply, you can't build those things that quickly with the previous way of doing things.